Joining us right now is House Oversight and Government Reform Committee Chairman, Republican Jason Chaffetz. Joining us right now. Congressman, it is good to have you on the program.
Thanks for having me.
You have been incredibly busy with your own active investigation into Hillary Clinton's email scandal. But let's first talk about what's taking place right now. Your reaction to what we know so far about these bombings.
Well, look, you got to understand who is he connected with. I'm sure there are a lot of people scrambling to make sure they figure out where is he connected to, how did he get here, who is family, who are his friends, and they're scrambling to do that. And this is the time for New Yorkers and people in New Jersey. Somebody knows who this guy is. Somebody has seen him on a regular basis, and they need to call those authorities because this guy's still on the run.
Yeah, because they're putting out all these emergency alerts and signs to make sure people understand this guy is armed, dangerous, and on the run right now.
Yeah, and look, this is where New Yorkers and people in New Jersey, they're at their best. They've got to step up and let law enforcement know where he is.
And Congressman, you're exactly right. And we've been hammering that point home. The best credible intelligence comes from the people in the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Let me turn now to the latest on the Clinton email investigation. Do you think you will get the full case to shed some transparency on what went on here? We watched you over the last week, interview these guys. All of them took the fifth. The one who did not take the fifth and would answer your questions basically said, yeah, I hammered one of her devices, but I was trying to preserve information. Listen to what a former assistant director of FBI, James Kallstrom, told me yesterday during an interview with me on Sunday Morning Futures.
This lady is running for president of the United States. Should not the public know how many times she said, I don't remember, or I'm not going to answer, or I'm pleading the fifth? And how does the FBI director give his conference and lay out all this stuff about what she did, and then have that foolish thing he did after that? And then when asked a question by the news media, what went on during the Clinton interview, he said, I haven't asked the agents yet what went on in the interview.
What's your reaction to all of this, Congressman?
Well, the number one thing I would like the FBI to do is release the unclassified version of the report. This thing is hundreds and hundreds of pages. They've released less than 50 pages to the public. Members of Congress can't even go down and see unclassified information. There's so many redactions. They can't even see the basic information that is there. So I want the FBI to release that. Thursday, we have another hearing that's going to happen. I issued another subpoena to bring Mr. Pagliano, the IT person from Platte River Networks, to come back before the committee. The marshals served him personally on Friday, I believe it was. He may plead the fifth, but I want to give him an opportunity. There's immunity in place, and you got an administration that says that they're not going to prosecute anybody. You would think they would sing like birds, but...
So why are they pleading the fifth if they've got immunity in place? I don't understand.
I think that's the question the media should be asking Hillary Clinton. Why are all these people pleading the fifth when you say there's nothing to hide and the FBI says they're not going to prosecute? If that's the case, then look in the camera, encourage them to tell the truth. Right now, you got everybody saying, hey, I'll plead the fifth, but I'm not letting go. We're going to keep going.
People are saying you are our elected representatives. You're doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
And they're frustrated over the fact, and you just said this, that you, as my elected representative, can't get the information you need from the FBI. Will there have to be a change in the process of these investigations? You're entitled to this information.
Well, we even, we've had some real liberal folks also come to our defense and say the FBI can't hold this information back. It's unclassified information. They want to even allow Congress to see it.
That's the bottom line.
I think we will, but it's taking too much time. They should be more forthcoming with it.
But what about that? I mean, are you powerless? I mean, explain to the American people who believe in the structure of our government that you are trying to get to the bottom of a situation to understand if there was real conflict and pay to play going on. I mean, you could really understand that if you read these emails that no doubt talk about the Clinton Foundation while she was Secretary of State.
This committee, Oversight and Government Reform, was founded in 1814. We as a nation, we are self-critical. There is a check and balance, and that we are the tip of the spear on that check and balance. So the system breaks down when you have the executive branch say, no, nothing here, you don't need to look at this. That is absolutely fundamentally and totally wrong. So we don't get handcuffs. I can't arrest or prosecute anybody, but I can shine light on things. And to that extent, I will keep going.
One thing, there's just one thing I wanted to point out, because so President Obama was in New York City last night at a fundraiser at the home of restaurateur Danny Meyer. About 65 people there, praising Hillary Clinton, attacking Donald Trump. That was blocks away from that bomb, where that bomb went off. Like anybody who knows New York City, that is within walking distance of where those bombs were, where that bomb was detonated. If you think about that.
And he didn't say a word. He still hasn't said a word.
There's another, he's here in New York City until Wednesday. And given what happened 15 years ago, and given what happened over the weekend in New Jersey and in New York City, it's time to step up in front of a microphone in front of the American people, certainly the people of New York City. Wouldn't you agree, Congressman?
Yeah, I think it was fundamentally wrong that the mayor of New York started with the premise that this was just, some man-made something.
No relation to international terrorism, he said.
So why don't we change the paradigm and start with the premise that it's terrorism and then walk it back from there? Because if you don't put all those wheels in motion right at the beginning, you could have something where there are multiple bombs going off in lots of locations. I got great faith in law enforcement. I think they'll work cohesively, and I'm glad to see we're waking up this morning, we got to go find this person that's out there.
You got to give them credit for moving very fast.
The FBI has done a great job. Everybody's giving law enforcement an incredible amount of credit.
Yeah.
The FBI did a great job. Law enforcement's doing a great job. But, Congressman, there's a bigger issue here. You've got Loretta Lynch meeting with Bill Clinton on the plane. You've got the IRS targeting conservatives. You've got this email investigation where you, the chairman of the Oversight Committee, cannot get your hands on the emails that you are asking for, requiring.
These are federal records. We talk about them as Hillary Clinton's emails. I don't want to see the yoga stuff, believe me. I don't want to see that. But these are federal records. It is potentially one of the largest breaches of security in the history of the State Department. Sensitive information that, if we're out in the public, would get people killed. Of course we're going to go out and investigate it. But for the FBI and for the Department of Justice to deny members of Congress of seeing it, to not release to the public on a closed case unclassified information, none of that adds
What
up.
has happened to this country?
Exactly.
It happened in part with the IRS. There were destroyed documents. There were things that were under subpoena, and they were destroyed. If any one of you or anybody at home was issued a subpoena, is that an optional activity in this country?
No,
it's not.
You're
It's
afraid
not
you're going to go to
optional.
jail.
And you should go to jail if you destroy
To Maria's point, look, this is a national security issue. Are you powerless? It seems like you're powerless. I know you do the
What
best
can you do?
Does this lead to impeachment proceedings if she's elected president?
No, I don't want to go use that word and go down that path. I just want to expose the facts wherever they may lay. But one of the things we did expose and did get out there is this email between Platte River Networks where they were saying there's some shady, and there was an expletive in there.
Stuff. We're covering up some shady stuff in that email.
Shady, yeah. And so they wanted to correct the record and put into the record what they were being told by Team Clinton. And we got to get to the bottom of that.
Why don't you want to use the impeachment?
Not yet.
We will be watching Thursday. We will be watching Congressman Thursday. You've got a big hearing once again.
Thursday morning, 10 a.m.
Pagliano's coming in. We'll watch.
Thank you.
Congressman Chaffetz.